I opened Instagram and froze. There she was, my sister, twirling in my wedding dress, smiling at the camera for her engagement photo shoot. My heart raced first, then the comments came in. Friends loved the look, family dropped hearts, and I stared at the screen, shaking. That dress holds vows, tears, and a day I still replay. I saved it, cleaned it, and stored it with care, planning to pass it down one day. She didn't ask. She picked it up while I was at work, took it to a field at sunset, and built a whole dreamy shoot around it. Some people will say it's just fabric. Anyone who's been a bride or guarded a family item knows better. Meaning clings to pieces like this. This isn't only about a dress, it's about trust and boundaries. It's about sisters who love each other, yet clash when lines blur. In this story, I'll share what happened after those photos went live. The calls, the excuses, the tears, and the moment I had to choose between peace and principles. If you're here for a Reddit-style roller coaster, you're in the right spot. Expect messy motives, a few plot twists, and a lesson that might help you if you're facing something similar. By the end, you'll see how we handled permission, respect, and damage control. You'll also get scripts you can use, and smart ways to set boundaries before a family heirloom turns into a family feud. How my wedding dress became a family heirloom. Before the photos, before the fight, there was a dress that felt like home. It was not just pretty. It was stitched with people, seasons, and vows. That is why my heart caught when I saw it online without a word from her. The day I said I do in that dress. I remember the weight of it on my shoulders, calm and certain. The bodice was hand-stitched with lace from my mom's veil, tiny scallops catching the light. My grandma's pearly buttons ran down the back, cool against my skin. My aunt trimmed the hem in our kitchen the week before, pinning layers while we laughed and ate cake from the box. The fabric moved like water. When I walked down the aisle, the skirt brushed the floor and picked up a few blades of grass. I kept them, pressed in a book with my bouquet ribbon. The seamstress added a hidden heart of blue silk near the waist. I touched it before I stepped out to meet him. I remember the scent of peonies, the choir warming up, the soft tug when my sister fixed my bustle during photos. I danced hard, shoes off by the second song. And that dress held on. It held hugs. It held tears. It held me. Why it was more than just fabric to me. The dress marked the start of my married life. And it carried my family with me. It was custom, but it was also inherited in spirit. Lace from my mom, buttons from my grandma, a stitch from my aunt. It became a living thread through our line. I planned to save it, not as a museum piece, but as a promise. Stories like this pop up often. People share how a sister wore the dress first and stained it with coffee. A mom gave a daughter's gown to another sibling without asking. Some families even pushed a co-bride moment that hijacked a wedding day. The pattern is clear. Personal treasures need respect, not just access. If you care for a piece like this, protect it. Set rules in writing. Who can borrow it? When and how it should be handled. Store it well. Use a breathable bag and keep it in a safe spot. Photograph details. Lace, buttons, embroidery. Proof matters if repairs are needed. Share the story. When people know the meaning, they treat it with care. The casual ask that turned into a big surprise. It started small and sweet, the kind of ask that feels harmless in a noisy kitchen. We were full on spaghetti, trading stories, and my sister had that glow people get when they are about to be photographed a lot. I trusted the room, the laughter, and the shared history. I did not see the twist coming. Her excited pitch over family dinner. She leaned in and said it like a compliment. Your dress photographs like a dream. What if I used it for my engagement photos? Just a few shots, super gentle, I swear. Mom smiled. Dad raised a brow but kept twirling pasta. She listed reasons. Quick and bright. The lace would match her theme. The field she booked was soft and golden. The photographer loved vintage. I felt split. Part of me wanted to guard the history stitched into that gown. Another part wanted to be the generous big sister. I said a careful yes, but with boundaries. She could try it on at my place, with me there. No outdoor shoots and no travel. She nodded fast, almost too fast. We clinked glasses and moved on to dessert. The vibe was warm, which made my guard drop. In that circle, big asks sound small. The room made it feel safe. I wanted to believe we could share without stress. That small, shaky yes was about trust, not the dress leaving my home. Signs I missed that it was a bad idea. Looking back, the red flags were loud. I just tuned them out. If you have a pushy relative, these might ring a bell. Speed. She pressed for an answer before I finished my plate. Urgency is a tactic. Packaging. She framed it as a few shots, not a full-styled shoot. Public ask. She raised it in front of family, which made no feel rude. Vague promises. I'll be careful is not a plan. Terms should be clear. Ownership creep. She said, my photographer, my vibe, my field, and slid my dress into her story. History. She has borrowed before, then stretched the rules after. Charm offensive. Compliments stacked up, then came the request. Classic soften, then push. Logistics gap. No talk of cleaning, transport, weather, or a backup outfit. I have read 100 Reddit posts that start just like this. A casual borrow turns into damage, a stolen day, or a family pile-on. The pattern is eerie. Someone asks small, gets a soft yes, then treats it like a green light for everything. That night, I thought we had an agreement. What I had was a loophole, and she walked right through it. Discovering the photo shoot on social media, I was doom scrolling between emails when the first photo hit. My sister in my wedding dress, hair down, sunlight on the lace, that same field glowing like honey. My breath stuck, then dropped, like a lift that fell a floor too fast. The screen felt loud. The dress looked like my past and her future, stitched together without my consent. Scrolling and spotting my dress in her post. The caption read, she said yes to me, and I said yes to the dress. There were sparkle emojis, a tag for the photographer, and a vendor list that made it look planned for weeks. The hem skimmed over wild grass. The lace on the bodice caught the sunset exactly how it did on my wedding day. I saw my grandma's buttons, the tiny pearl row, and knew she had worn it out, not just tried it on. Betrayal hit in layers. First shock, then anger, then a hollow ache. My mind sprinted through practicals. Was it cleaned after? Did dew stain the tulle? Who zipped her into it? Did she dig through my closet while I was at work? My hand shook so hard I almost dropped the phone. I felt exposed, like someone posted a diary page. The dress carried my vows, and now it starred in a shoot I never approved. I took screenshots, then zoomed on details. Grass seeds on the train, a loose thread near the waist. My heart pounded. In that moment, trust felt as fragile as the lace she wore. The comments that made it worse. Then came the chorus. Gorgeous. Iconic. Sister goals. Hearts and rings filled the feed. A few people knew the dress was mine, and they asked where she got it. She dodged with a smiley face and a family magic reply. The public loved the vibe. The private truth burned. Not everyone cheered. Some called it tacky to borrow without asking. Others said sharing is what sisters do. The thread started to split, fast, like those viral AITA posts. Strangers staked claims on our family values with hot takes and emojis. The mix made the hurt heavier. Let her have her moment. From a college friend. That is a boundary. From a cousin who remembers. It is just a dress. From someone who did not come to my wedding. Protect sentimental things. From a mom of 3 brides. The post spread to stories. Then group chats. Our private line crossing turned into a public spectacle. I felt cornered by a crowd that wanted a plot, not a fix. My phone buzzed like an alarm, and the worst part was simple. She had made my memory into content, then handed it to the internet. Family reactions and the blame game. The story twisted into who was too sensitive, not who crossed a boundary. It felt like those classic family threads where the golden child gets a pass, and the person who speaks up gets tagged as the problem. That dress became a prop in a bigger pattern. Mom and Dad's take on the whole mess. Mom rushed to soften it. She idolizes you. she said, then called the photos a tribute. She said the field was clean, the hem barely touched the grass, and I should be proud my dress got another moment. Dad echoed peace over principle. Do not make this bigger, he said. It is a pretty picture, not a crime. They defended the good intent and ignored the method. Borrowing without permission became miscommunication. My tears were stress. The pressure started fast. Take the post as a compliment. Do not ruin the engagement glow. We have a wedding to plan. Be the bigger sister. When I pushed back, they blamed the timing. You said yes at dinner, Mom said. You were not clear. The guilt was heavy. I felt erased, like my boundary was an inconvenience and her aesthetic was the priority. Love got measured by how quickly I could move on. Siblings weigh in with mixed advice. The group chat split. My brother said it straight. That was theft. Fix it. He asked her to take down the post, pay for cleaning, and apologize without spin. My younger sister wanted a truce. She panicked and messed up. Let her keep the photos. Cousins and an aunt chimed in. Some praised the photos and told me to share the joy. Others said a boundary is a boundary. The divide was clear, and the blame drifted toward the person making noise, not the person who crossed the line. What helped me handle the bias? Name the harm. You used my dress without asking. That broke trust. Ask for actions. Clean the gown, cover repairs, add a public caption correction. Move it off the group chat. One-on-one beats a family pile-on. Set a clean line. No more borrowing heirlooms without written okay. Pick one ally. Let a calm sibling back you when parents push peace at any cost. It did not fix the past, but it stopped the spin and put respect back on the table. Navigating the hurt and setting boundaries. Hurt came in waves, then a sharp push to act. I wanted my feelings seen, not dismissed, and I wanted clear lines set for the future. Here is how I handled the fallout, what I learned from advice-heavy Reddit threads, and how I started to heal. Talking it out with my sister face to face. We met in my kitchen. My voice shook, then steadied. I told her the dress held vows, family history, and a promise. She said she thought I would be fine, then called it a tribute. She said she planned to be careful and did not think she needed permission again because I had said yes once. Those were excuses, not ownership. I laid it out plainly. You took my dress without permission. That broke trust. I asked for 3 things: calm and direct, pay for cleaning and any repairs, add a caption owning the mistake, and agree to a written borrowing rule for all heirlooms. She apologized, softer this time. It was not perfect, but it was a start. Tough love beat vague peace. Lessons for keeping family peace. Borrowing only works when rules are clear. Reddit advice threads hammer the basics, and they work. Name the item and the rule. No heirlooms leave my house without written approval. Set conditions. Time window, where it can be worn. Who handles transport and cleaning. Require a deposit. Money or a credit card on file helps people take care. Document the state. Quick photos of lace, buttons, and hem before it leaves. Spell out consequences. Repair costs, dry cleaning, or no future loans. Keep a short list. Only a few people can borrow, and only with you present. Clear beats kind of. That is how you protect love and the item. Healing after the drama unfolds. Anger faded. Then sadness lingered. I gave myself time. I journaled, boxed the dress with fresh tissue, and booked a cleaning. I muted her posts for a week and focused on peace. Forgiveness came in pieces, not as a grand moment. I kept my boundary while letting go of the constant replay. Try small steps that Reddit users swear by. Write a short script for future asks. Keep treasured items locked. And pick one ally for tough talks. Choose self-care that sticks, like a walk, a call with a friend, or a therapy session. Protect your heart and your heirlooms. You can hold love and boundaries at the same time. Conclusion. This story started with a shock on a screen and ended with clear lines, calmer hearts, and a dress back in its box. Love and boundaries can live in the same room. That is the real win. The lesson is simple, and it holds. Ask first, write it down, fix the harm, and make respect the default. Key takeaways worth keeping. Sentimental items carry memory and meaning, so treat them like people, not props. A soft yes is not permission for more. Clarity beats assumptions every time. Repair and accountability rebuild trust faster than excuses ever will. If this hit close to home, take a breath and make a plan. Write one rule about heirlooms and share it with your family. Draft a quick script you can use when someone asks for a big borrow. Photograph your keepsakes now, and set a cleaning policy before anything leaves the house. These small steps prevent big fights and save relationships from getting scorched. The dress did not ruin our bond. It tested it. We talked, set terms, and chose to move forward with more care. That is how messy stories turn into growth. The way the best Reddit threads end when people own their part and try again with more grace. Thank you for reading and caring about the heart inside this kind of drama. If you have a story like this, share it in the comments or send a note. Your voice could help someone find their words too. Here is to healthy lines, kinder asks, and keepsakes that hold love without holding anyone hostage.